Hi, this is Miss M, and today's topic, solving equations. Getting the x term alone. The first thing we need to do when we see an equation is to get the x term alone. In this case, we need to get the 2x by itself. So we have to get rid of the minus 7. Well, to undo a subtraction, we have to use addition. And so we're going to add 7 to both sides. That leaves us 2x is equal to 10. Now that the 2x is by itself, we can undo the multiplication that's happening to the x. And to undo multiplication, we'd use division. So we're going to divide both sides of the equal sign by 2. So we're going to divide 2x by 2 and 10 by 2. This leaves us with x is equal to 5. So our answer is x equals 5. Here's another example. In this case, we have a parenthesis that's squared. To undo an exponent, we have to use roots, or in this case, a square root, because our exponent is 2. So we're going to take the square root of both sides of the equation. On the first side, that leaves us just the parenthesis. On the second side, on the right-hand side, that leaves us the square root of 4. Well, the square root of 4 can be 2 or negative 2. So we have two equations. X minus 7 equals 2, and x minus 7 equals negative 2. We would then solve each equation the same way. We have to undo the subtraction between x and 7, so we would add 7 to both sides of the equal signs in both equations. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. That gives us x is equal to 9 on the left-hand side, and x is equal to 5 on the right-hand side. And so our two answers are 9 and 5. Here's another example. This one's a little more complicated. In this case, we have to simplify both sides of the equation before we can start changing sides. So we need to multiply negative 5 times x and negative 5 times 6, and we have to multiply 7 times x and 7 times 12. The multiplication on the left-hand side is going to give you negative 5x plus 30. The multiplication on the right-hand side is going to give you 7x plus 84. On both sides of the equation, we can combine some like terms. You'll notice we have 2 and 30, so we can combine those. Since they're both positive, we add them like regular numbers. On the right-hand side, we have 84 and minus 10. So 84 minus 10 is going to give us 74. So we have negative 5x plus 32 equals 7x plus 74. Now we can change sides. So we want all of our x's on one side and all of the regular numbers on the other side. So we're going to move the x's. We're going to move 7x to the left-hand side. So we're going to subtract 7x's from both sides of the equation. Well, negative 5x's and negative 7x's is going to give us negative 12x's plus 32 equals 74. Notice we didn't do anything with the 32 and the 74 yet. We're going to do that in just a second. Now that we have negative 12x plus 32, we're going to have to undo the addition between negative 12x and 32. Which means we're going to subtract 32 from both sides of the equation. That's going to give us negative 12x is equal to 42. And now we have to undo the multiplication between negative 12 and x in order to get the x by itself. So we're going to divide both sides of the equations by negative 12. That leaves us that x is equal to 42 over negative 12, but 42 can be broken up. We know that that's 6 and 7, And negative 12 can be broken up into 6 and negative 2. So now we can simplify, or we can reduce out the 6's that are on the top and the bottom, or in the numerator and the denominator. And that leaves us an answer of x equals 7 over negative 2, or negative 7/2. Here's another example. This one deals with fractions. Again, we're not changing the steps. We just made it a little more complicated by throwing in the fractions. So now we're still going to multiply 5/7 times x and 5/7 times negative 3. And that's going to give us 5/7 x minus 15 over 7 equals 5 over 35x minus 8/5. Now, we still need to combine the like terms. We need to get the like terms on the same side. So we're going to, eventually we're going to add or subtract to those numbers. And in order to do that, we need a least common divisor. We need the denominator to be the same for each fraction in our equation. Well, our least common denominator is going to be 35, because 7 goes into 35 and 5 goes into 35. So I need to make 7 35, and I need to make 5 35. So we're going to change our denominators, and that means some of our numerators will change as well. Now we're going to combine our negative 75 over 35. We're going to add it to both sides. That's going to leave us 25 over 35x equals 5 over 35x plus 19 over 35. Now we're going to combine our x's on the left-hand side of the equation. So we have to subtract 5 over 35 x's from both sides. That leaves us 20 over 35x equals 19 over 35. Well, now we have to get rid of the 20 over 35 in front of the x. Keep in mind, normally we multiply this. To undo it, we need to divide. And so we're going to divide by that. Now, if you're confused by what I wrote on this last step, please check out our multiplying fractions video. And that'll help clear up some of the questions that you might have on that topic. So that's going to give us x is equal to 19 over 20. Notice I didn't reduce this, and that's because 19 is one of those prime numbers, those numbers we can't break up. And so 19 over 20 would be our answer for this particular problem. If you have any questions or an idea for a future video, please leave them in the comments below. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check out the channel for other math videos. Bye!